Hi, this is Jay Salvell. I'm the head football coach at the University of Wyoming. Join us in celebrating the 5th annual WyoGives on July 10th, a day dedicated to giving back to the amazing nonprofits that serve our community. Your support can make a significant impact on Wyoming's nonprofit organizations. Visit wyogives.org to learn more and get ready to contribute on July 10th. Go Pokes!
Myself, Go Pokes, proud UW alumni here. Spent a lot of time hanging out in that stadium when I attended the University of Wyoming. And probably like a lot of you, I still go to games every year. It's kind of a family tradition. And if sports is something that's really important to you, specifically sports right here in Wyoming, well, I guarantee you there's a charity, there's an organization for that. You can go to WyoGives.org and you can look through all the different categories and find charities that pair with something that you're passionate about. Now, I'm looking at our ticker tape right up here, and it looks like as of right now, we have over $1 million raised for Wyoming charities, thanks to you. 357 of the 380 organizations across the state of Wyoming that are participating in WyoGives have received donations from 2,605 different donors. Look at that go. We are working our way to $1.5 million raised at WyoGives. Remember, you go to wyogives.org, and that's where you're going to go to make that donation to a charity that matters to you. You can be doing that throughout the entire day, all the way till midnight. And doing it through wyogives.org allows that charity to be eligible for certain prizes that we have. And it's also going to let them have some of those matching funds that we have through WyoGives Day. And I see we have just hopping on with me one of my favorite people from Wyoming's Nonprofit Network. That's the group behind WyoGives Day. Collier, do you want to hop on with me? Do you have anything you want to say or talk about?
Yeah, thank you for that wonderful introduction, Kathy. I'm honestly honored, and I'm going to ring my little singing bowl. And we have our golden ticket winners for the 10 a.m. slot, and those are going to be the Cowboy Cole Memorial Foundation and the Cheyenne Animal Shelter.
That
And
is
that's pretty much it.
amazing.
Yeah, congrats.
And is that $500 to each charity with the golden ticket?
Mhm.
And you just pick, can you explain to people that are watching, how do they make sure that they get in there for that golden ticket? Making a
So if you're
donation.
if you're a participant, that'll be randomized, and our executive director, Jody Shields, is in charge of that process. So she's been wonderful and on it and has let us know who is the winner for each of these prizes. So
I
big shout
love
out to
it.
her.
That is perfect. And if you want to see all the charities that are winning throughout the day, we do have a page for that at wyogives.org. Thank you so much for hopping on and making that announcement for us. I'm sure I'll see you later on in the day.
Yes, thank you so much, Kathy, and congrats to the golden ticket winners.
Woohoo! It's kind of fun. It's like, you get a prize every time I'm on here. So this morning, we had the opportunity to chat with a couple of our organizations across the state of Wyoming that really deal with the aspect of community, which is such an important part of who and what we are as a state. Now we're going to pivot a little bit, and we're going to talk about something else that Wyoming is pretty famous for, and that is our natural beauty. We have Yellowstone, we have the mountains, we have the high plains desert, we have unique wildlife and animals that are only here in Wyoming. And to help chat a little bit about the charities and organizations across the state that are working to help make sure Wyoming stays that way and continues to be known for its natural beauty, I have a couple of guests. So I'm having trouble hearing you. I'm so sorry. I don't know if your mute is on, Chris, if it's me, if it's them.
I think the Peaches cam might have been muted. So
Oh, okay. Do you guys want to unmute it? It's like we're back in 2020 and COVID and having a Zoom meeting.
Did you guys hit the mute button? Let me jump in here real quick. Hey, it's Chris Strubb, the Giving Day guy, and we are just working on getting that audio back going. So Nate and Peaches, if you did hit that unmute button, if you just want to refresh your room, and we'll get you right back. We can try it again. But Kathy, this has been a really fun day so far. Oh, nope, that's not Chris Strubb. That's me on this side now. Kathy, we're going to have Nate and Peaches just refresh the room.
Yeah, no problem.
$1.4 million raised so far. They'll be right back. Their audio was working just fine a moment ago. Our friends from the Wildlife
This close
Fund.
to the $1.5 million mark, Chris. I am so excited. I'm kind of hoping it happens during this interview because that would be a really good reason to interrupt.
It'll be, I would never want to interrupt the Prairie Wife in Heels, but that might be a valid reason to do so. So
yeah, raising $1.5 million for Wyoming charities, interrupt away.
So I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Let's see. Oh, I can hear their audio
Hi,
coming
guys.
in now. Yeah,
Can you hear us now?
Yay, we got it.
All right, I'll catch you guys later. Kathy, have fun.
Thanks, Chris.
All right.
All right, let's do a take two with that. We knew with everything being live that all of these snafus were a possibility, but I personally feel like it keeps us on our toes and it keeps things exciting. Oh, Kimberly says, hi, Peaches. Love all you do for WyoGives. Remember, you can be like Kimberly and you can live comment and interact with us throughout all of these different segments we're doing all day long. We love it. We encourage it. Okay. Hi, guys. How about you introduce your charity and organization that you work with and just kind of let them know what you do for Wyoming.
Sure. I'll start here. I'll kind of give a reintroduction. Sorry about our techno difficulties, but anyway, I'm Nate Brown, the operations manager of the Wildlife Fund, and I'm here with Peaches Terrell. We're hanging out in Cheyenne, Wyoming, celebrating statehood for the state of Wyoming and celebrating WyoGives. And, this is our second year to be a part of WyoGives and the campaign with the Wyoming Nonprofit Network. Kudos to the Nonprofit Network for putting this on. The Wildlife Fund is projects driven and people focused. So we're uniting people to advance Wyoming wildlife habitat research and education. The ways that we do that is we're specializing in grant agreements that are laser focused and put dollars on the ground for wildlife right where they belong in projects all across Wyoming. And as a partner foundation to the Wyoming Game and Fish, we're able to serve over 800 different species of wildlife that the state's Game and Fish manages all across the state of Wyoming. So we're a home for all people who love Wyoming wildlife. If you love wildlife of any kind, fish, mammals, birds, anything, bats, when we've got projects that are focused on those creatures, and we're welcome and willing to entertain any new projects across the state. Some of the main ones that we've been involved in quite a bit, and Peaches and Brian and I all got to know each other through the Maury Brown Kids Fishing Day.
Nice, sure.
Yeah, here in the Cheyenne region, and that kind of works along with the Wyoming Game and Fish free fishing days that are every first Saturday in June every year.
So you work with a lot of other charities across the state of Wyoming, which I love that kind of hand-in-hand aspect because the more that we work together, the more we can help other people, right?
Yeah, and as a partner foundation to the Game and Fish, that's really what we do. We're not competing so much with the other organizations that support wildlife habitat and conservation, but we're really supporting them, and we bring in a lot of big ticket donors and a lot of folks under the same hat and work towards projects that everyone can agree on, everyone can work together on and get done. And some of those that are obvious that people don't really see are wildlife highway crossings across the state of Wyoming.
Oh, sure. Yeah. So that they can go over instead of going. Yeah.
All of the above, over, under. We do have exclusionary fence, like the I-25 project north of Casper that was just completed this last year.
And not only does that help wildlife, but you're actually saving lives too.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
It's around $50 million a year of private property damage and personal injury in the state of Wyoming alone due to Wyoming's wildlife vehicle collisions. So
yeah, and as you said, that's just one of the small projects that you guys do. So Peaches, what is it that you do for the Wildlife Fund?
Well, like he said, I've been a part of the Maury Brown Fishing Day. This was year 3. And I've always admired just everything that they're doing to keep our state preserved, with the lands, with the animals. And the Maury Brown Fishing Day just really touched my heart with the kids. These kids, some have never fished before. This year was so exciting because we had a couple of kids that had fished before but never caught a fish. So they bring up this fish, and it's just so cool to see it through these kids' eyes there.
Well, and that's a memory maker, right? That's something
yes.
Kids, they love animals. They love to learn about them. So I know that there's a lot of organizations across the whole entire state of Wyoming that really tries to help foster kids' passions for wildlife. But what do you recommend, either Nate or Peaches or both of you? How can people like me who are parents, how can we foster that love for wildlife in our kids?
Well, I think the first thing is you get them outdoors.
There you go.
You know, it's crazy that some of the kids that came to the fishing day had never really been outside of Cheyenne city limits. So they come off the bus and they're out there with all the land and the big lake, and they're just like, wow, look at all this land. And I mean, just things like that. Just take drives and through all the trees and things like that. Kids get real excited about that kind of stuff.
And take advantage of the programs, Nate, that you guys offer that allow for that no-cost education, low-cost education. So, Nate, I want to ask you something. Do you have a favorite Wyoming animal? You mentioned, what was it, 800 different species that you guys work to save, if I kept that. Do you have a favorite animal, Nate? And do you have a wildlife fund program that helps that favorite animal?
I would say, that I have a personal favorite animal that's just, it's just an amazing animal. And part of this has to do with my past history as a hunting guide. So
okay,
I think
all right.
I mean, it's pretty, I guess you could say, it's a quintessential Wyoming animal.
I know he's keeping me in suspense.
I know.
The elusive wapiti. I think it's pretty tough to compete with a bull elk that's charging in and bugling and screaming in your face. I don't know. That's just Wyoming for me. I think that's just a magical thing to experience. To your point of having a program that supports that. So, as most people who know anything about Wyoming wildlife know, elk are really, really on the rebound. They're on the eastern half of Wyoming. They're really becoming kind of a management concern. And so through a partnership with Table Mountain Outfitters, who's based out of Cheyenne as well, and the Wyoming Game and Fish, we have some hunts that we've actually focused on managing cow elk in the eastern half of the state. So the purpose behind that is to save money for ranchers that are feeding these large groups of ungulates in the wintertime, and elk is a big part of that. So yeah, we absolutely do. And just love elk, love all the wildlife. Mule deer are a big fan. I'm a big fan of mule deer as well. We have several organizations that are focused on working for mule deer, and the Mule Deer Foundation and Muley Fanatics both do great work for mule deer. But yeah, there's so many things. To your point again, Peaches, get outside. Get the kids' phones, put them in the jockey box of the pickup or the glove compartment or whatever, and just get them engaged. Get them in the outdoors. Show them the wildlife. It doesn't take much. One thing about Wyoming is literally everywhere you go, you can camp, you can stay overnight, you can fish, you can hunt.
Yeah, that really is true. And like you mentioned, there are tons of organizations that work with wildlife, that work with encouraging kids and offer free program for parents. So if that's something that you're watching this and you're passionate about, or you even want to learn about more of the charities that are doing the kind of good work that the Wildlife Fund is doing, you can go to WyoGives.org and you can go ahead and look through there. There's going to be a whole bunch of organizations listed that all have that same passion. And Chris, I love it. Yeah, let's see if we can do a what's your favorite animal that you can find in Wyoming. I don't even know if I could pick one. I think the black-footed ferret is funny. I don't know why. I just kind of love that we have random little ferrets that are running in the wild, and kind of recently discovered that's one of my favorite Wyoming animals. Brandon says, thanks for y'all's hard work, WyoGives. Thanks, Brandon. I hope you have an opportunity to go to the website and donate today. So both of you, before we finish up here, do you have any other charities, businesses that you partner with that kind of help you along with your mission that you want to just do a quick shout out to?
Yeah, one thing I really want to focus on quick is we have an initiative called Wildlife for Tomorrow. We have nearly 90 businesses across Wyoming. I'm not going to list them all on our live feed today, but
oh my gosh, yes, that's amazing.
Webpage. So the Wildlife for Tomorrow initiative was created by Taylor Phillips, one of our board members, who's also on the board of the Office of Tourism now. Taylor saw a niche need for businesses to be able to give back to wildlife conservation in the state of Wyoming and basically cover their own bottom line by supporting wildlife. And so I wanted to give a shout out to two specific businesses that we have co-branded products with.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah, and we also partner with the Haub School for the artwork and stuff. So one of them is Wind River Brewing Company, and we've done the Pronghorn Pilsner beer. It's a very, very well-received beer. It's good, easy drinking beer, and it's raised nearly $10,000 for wildlife conservation just through the sales of beer since last fall. So a really cool deal. And then we also are partnering with Cowboy Coffee out of Jackson Hole to do the Wild Cowboy Roast. And this is actually available.
Cowboy.
Yeah, and it's actually available in single pours that are biodegradable as well. And the Haub School and Porta Coffee in Laramie have partnered with us to make those available to everybody that goes out in the backcountry and enjoys Wyoming.
I think that's awesome. And it just really speaks to what WyoGives is all about, right? In the state, everyone working together as a community with that one big idea of making Wyoming better. So you've partnered with businesses, with charities to help raise funds so we can keep our wildlife and all the area that they need in order to thrive and flourish safe. So to end, what does WyoGives mean to you? Peaches, how about you take us away there? What does WyoGives mean to you?
Well, I just love that they get the boosted funds. So I tell all the donors, your money will go a little bit further today with the boosted funds and all these prizes that we can hit. This year we have 17,000 prizes. So we're bound to hit something each and every organization. And it's just such a great day to watch all of this play out and all the support we get. And the one thing I love about this foundation as well is that we're giving back here in Cheyenne, but also, like you said, all across the state. So,
well, Peaches, I just wanted to jump in real quick. I'll throw Kathy back on the screen here in just a second, but say thank you for being here. And also, I think the entire Terrell family is watching you on Facebook right now. Oh. So I wanted to make sure, assuming these are all related folks to you, but Brandon and Dallas and Tristan, I noticed that I think I had possibly your last name spelled wrong. So I fixed it on there for you because I would love to be friends with the Terrell family after this stream as well.
Well, thank you. I'm very blessed. My family supports me in all that I do. So I'm blessed.
Tristan gave me a clap. So
I love it.
I guess I got that right. Kathy, I'll throw it back to you here.
Thanks, Chris. I love that when he pops on. It's like people forget that there is a man behind the scenes that is like conducting and doing all the things. And he's doing all of that. And I'm looking down here at the ticker tape and we are like this close to getting to that $1.5 million mark. So if you like what you heard about the best sister-in-law, look at you go. You have a good family, Peaches. So we are this close to the $1.5 million mark. So if you were just listening to the Wildlife Fund, to Nate and Peaches and all the good work that they're doing, head over to wyogives.org. You can find them and all the other organizations they mentioned that have that same mission to help Wyoming wildlife. Donate now. See if you can be the ones to push us over the edge there. Keep commenting, sharing, doing all the things to help WyoGives. Happy birthday to Wyoming. And Nate and Peaches, thank you so much for your time with us today.
Thank you.
Thanks now. Have a good day.
Happy birthday, Wyoming.
Woohoo!
Thanks, guys.
The 5th annual WyoGives is made possible through the support of our partners. Our incentive pool partner is the Hughes Charitable Foundation. Our lead bison sponsor is Wells Fargo. Our Jade sponsor is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming. Our Meadowlark sponsor is EOG Resources. And our media partners are Wyoming PBS, YESCO, Wyoming Public Media, WyoFile, Checked In Media, and Town Square.
All right, we're getting this close to our $1.5 million mark.
Sorry, Kathy. I just left you hanging there for a moment. We are still live here. Just wanted to say thank you to everyone who's been watching, and we will be back on we're like in the group text here.
I'm just laughing because I'm like getting a drink of water quick. I don't know when I'm going to be on, so I always just pretend that we're live. And so the most embarrassing thing that's going to happen is me with a mouthful of water or giggling uncontrollably. We can handle that, right, Chris? We can handle it.
Kathy told me she could handle anything coming into this live stream, so I'm going to throw you a curveball every once in a while, just so people know, like, wherever you're watching from, whether it's across Wyoming or anywhere around the world. I'm producing this today from South Carolina. I was out at the second annual WyoGives Day in 2021 in Cheyenne, which was really cool. But this year I'm here in Greenville, South Carolina. So I'm like trying to make sure I have the time zones right. And like, I'm trying to eat lunch while Kathy's like, I'm eating my breakfast. Like,
you're doing so good. This is me bowing down to you because I'm just sitting here and I'm just trying to keep my kids quiet, Chris, while we're doing this. I locked them in the basement, and I don't know about you, Chris, but I'm having a blast. It has been so fun to have all these different experts from different charities. It's so exciting to have the live interaction. I hope people keep on commenting when we come on again at 11 o'clock for our next little announcement, prize giveaway, and all the fun they've been experiencing all day.
I feel like we should have Peaches on all day with us, with her family coming to root her on. That's so special. Yeah. We got to get all the Prairie Wife and Heels kids to jump in the comments next time. I don't know if
they aren't allowed to. They aren't allowed to have social media, Chris. They're too little.
Maybe for the 15th annual WyoGives Day, we'll revisit.
Yeah, right. Or like we can, if we hit a big, like, how about if we hit like the $3 million benchmark, $2 million, they can pop on with me and like we can make them be on the camera and be excited.
If we raise $10 million today, I'm going to say your kids all can have a Facebook account tomorrow. Deal?
Is that what you're going to say? Okay. I'm the mean mom. I can say no. I don't have a problem saying no.
This is the 5th annual WyoGives Day. I'm Chris Drubb, the Giving Day guy with Prairie Wife and Heels. We'll see you back in about 30 minutes. Don't go anywhere. The 5th annual WyoGives is made possible through the support of our partners. Our incentive pool partner is the Hughes Charitable Foundation. Our lead bison sponsor is Wells Fargo. Our Jade sponsor is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming. Our Meadowlark sponsor is EOG Resources. And our media partners are Wyoming PBS, YESCO, Wyoming Public Media, WyoFile, Checked In Media, and Town Square.